Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman.
You're mad.
Thank goodness for that, because if I wasn't, this would probably never work.
Hey, it's Sam Jones, Flash Gordon. I'm a big fan of the nerdery, so you better be tuning in. That's right.
Welcome back to the Nerdery. I'm JD.
Patty! Tanya?
Steven. And Lewis is on his way.
So he says.
Candy.
Always. It's
All right, let me adjust some wiggly here.
Hello there, David. Do some adjustments because I left my bottle of water.
All right.
Candy. That's it.
So, we're watching Dredd in the background tonight.
Woo!
Yeah. Everybody looks like exhausted. Or sounds that way. We are.
I was ready to take a nap 5 minutes ago. I'm comfy, laying in bed.
Good times. So who's gonna start?
What's everybody got?
Alright. I've got The Ravening,
You're eating.
Blood and Dust, American Guinea Pig, Bouquet of Guts and Gore,
Her favorite movie of all time.
and The Strain. Because I'm late to the party.
And I've got Toxic Gumbo and Batman Chronicles The Gauntlet.
Alright, I have Supergirl number 1, Animosity, which is going to be a multi-review because we have all read it. And both of these are from All Star Comics in Baytown.
Woo!
I also have quite a few animes. I have Tattoo Taboo, ReZero Starting from Zero, or Starting Again, I'm sorry.
I want to say that rhymes.
And Twin Star Exorcist.
Perez, what do you get?
It's over there.
It's over yonder.
Eclipse, number 1. And The Great Divide, first issue. Woo!
And of course the
for you.
Animosity for
And-
us.
You read the other one, maybe. The Hellboy spinoff?
Oh, this one. I didn't read it yet.
Okay. Well, I have
We'll
that.
put it with his pile.
Okay.
He also has...
Rise of the Black Flame, 1.
Well, I guess I'll be nice enough.
And those are brought to you by Toxic City Comics.
Woo!
Alright, so starting with my animes first. Tattoo Taboo.
It says taboo tattoo, but you keep saying
Or
tattoo.
whatever.
Okay, Lewis.
Taboo tattoo.
Phil
Hey.
Stevens!
It's an alphabet.
I'm going to prom, okay? I'm going to prom. Okay. Taboo Tattoo, sorry. Young boy more or less saves a guy getting beaten up. As payment, he hands him the stone, which puts a tattoo on his hand. Come to find out the tattoo has powers. And it was an American military secret that they're now chasing and having to kill or destroy people to get the tattoos back. Which is the first start of the plot line. I haven't made it as far
Like
through
they
that
literally
one.
want to cut the skin, take the tattoo back, or
Entire arms, in fact.
oh wow, okay.
So yeah, they will flat up kill you. There's also another land that's now being called the Kingdom, which basically, from my understanding, is basically all of Asia.
Okay.
Which is also chasing the tattoos.
Yeah.
So there's these great weapons.
Once you get them, have you found out if you can use them again?
No, it's it remains on you.
Oh, that's what I mean.
But I mean, when
once
they take it
collect
back,
it from you.
No,
they just don't want anyone
generally
else to have it?
Killing you when you.
No, but them.
Can
Yeah, they
have
can
your
reuse
arm.
it. Yeah,
Okay,
they can
reuse
take the tattoo back.
Okay.
But the only way to remove it from a
Living
live person, because it actually soaks through your entire being if you don't spray it.
Oh, okay.
So of course it gives them superhuman powers, different types of abilities.
I need a tattoo like that.
I've only made it through about 6 episodes. There's actually about 24 episodes out there right now. So for a preemptive, I'm going to give it a 4.5 Ninja Scrolls.
Okay.
Pretty good, pretty intriguing, some good character development, some interesting characters, not a ton of fan service. Pretty good. Alright, and I'm gonna have to actually click on this one. Okay.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. We are doing another giveaway. We're doing 3 comic books we're giving away this week out of the Nerdery Vault. And the question is...
Is it up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Name one comic book publisher that has received the honor of top-rated publisher. Keep in mind there have only been 3.
Ooh, I know!
Yeah.
Stephen always overreaches.
I do.
Okay, perfect.
To receive top-rated publisher, a publisher must... Every book that we read of theirs must have at least a rating of 4 or higher. There's only been 3 that have done that.
Yes.
And considering how many comic book publishers there are out there, that's a pretty big deal.
Alright.
Alright. Back to the reviews. Alright, ReZero Starting Another Life. Kind of an interesting anime. This guy's literally sitting in a store, he's buying some ramen noodles and all that. He goes to walk out and gets teleported into a different world.
That sucks.
So he's like, man, I'm really tired. I've been up for a long time. It just must be my eyes playing with me. And then he realizes he's somewhere else. Well, he's a gamer nerd, so he's like, oh, I must have super cool powers. So he sees a little girl about to get hit, and he's trying to use a power. Nothing happens. So he makes it a little ways from there, and now he thinks he has super strength. Some thugs roll up to rob him. Basically, they end up stopping him.
Oh, of course.
And a young girl comes over and uses her powers and saves him. So he ends up kind of rolling through this to find out he does have a power.
Oh, no.
Problem is he has to die.
What the hell?
And every time he dies, he resets like a game, but he has to experience all the pain and all the torture that comes from that
Never told me
death
about this one.
to go back and change it. Altogether, like, I am all the way caught up to it. This is a simulcast, which now that Crunchyroll and Funimation are one, you can just go view on either or. 5 Ninja Scrolls, 100%. I really enjoyed it. Really cool characters, lots of storyline areas, lots of information on the characters. Every time he comes back, you find new details.
That sounds interesting.
Has demons, has everything all across the board. Really, really enjoyed that.
And you watched all of it?
I've watched all that is current. I'm waiting on the next ones to come.
Okay.
And then my last one, Twin Star Exorcist. I figured actually reading it at first it was going to be one of those Chrisamays. Actually, it's not, surprisingly enough.
Coined a new word.
There is basically a demonic world that sits in between our two worlds. And these exorcists have to go in that world to fight because they will come out and pull people in. And they have to go fight to get them back. Well, you run across 2 young people that are the most powerful of them currently. And all of their battles that are happening and everything going on. Story development's kind of slow at first, but getting about a quarter into the season actually really, really picks up. One you can actually let your kids watch and enjoy. So altogether, 4.5 Ninja Scrolls. It is another simulcast. Of course, since they're one, check it out, Crunchyroll or Funimation. And then for my 2 comic books. What? Alright, so Supergirl number 1. The artwork you see on the cover is the artwork in the book. Absolutely love that. That gives it an up plus right there.
Yeah.
For the first time, I like Supergirl. I have not liked almost any version of Supergirl, minus, Bizarro World Supergirl. I have not liked the character. They always developed her poorly, so I didn't really enjoy her. This one, absolutely enjoyed it. They made the character really unique. They actually gave her something that... Back to her. normal self. Her normal self is
Oh wow, that looks nothing like the other one.
completely changed. Unlike most of the Supergirls, where she goes back and
Looks
she's
exactly the same.
she looks like Supergirl. She just pulls the Clark Kent, puts on the glasses.
That's one of the things I hate about the TV show Supergirl. Actually, is she looks exactly the same.
This one, she becomes brown haired. She looks like the typical nerd. So it's not until she actually
They almost even changed her facial structure a
Yeah.
little bit.
So they made it really a unique idea on Supergirl. Absolutely loved it. I'm going to give it 6 Ninja Scrolls.
Nice.
Giving it up plus for the artwork actually matching the book. That's so rare nowadays, and I do love that. I will let somebody else go because we can all do a review of this one.
Yeah.
At the end.
Sounds good. I've just got 2 little ones, so I'll do mine. I picked up 2 one-shots at Toxic City. First one is Toxic Gumbo. It's an older one. It's from '98, and it was by Vertigo. It's interesting. It's different. It's one that I recommended Patty to read because it's very much on the horror kind of spectrum. But basically, it's about a girl who was born in somewhere in Louisiana, swampland area. And I'll give you the premise because this comes up in the first couple of pages. You're not missing anything by knowing. Basically, when her mom was pregnant with her, she was bitten by one of the poisonous caterpillars that we have in the South.
Like an asp.
Yeah, something like an asp. And she was poisoned, hallucinating. She was basically going into convulsions and it was killing her. Well, she gave birth to the girl in the book during this poisoning episode. So the baby came out poisoned. So it even says in there, my first visions after birth were hallucinations. So she comes out toxic. And she craves toxicity. So she basically spends her life trying to get more toxicity in her body because she just craves it and needs it and doesn't really even understand why. And the more toxic things that she takes in, the more toxic she becomes. And it's a really interesting story. She basically kind of turns into a serial killer, which is always interesting. Another reason Patty's going to love this one.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4 to 4.5 masks. But I like the artwork. It's really gritty. It fits the storyline really well. It's definitely a darker story, darker artwork. I liked it a lot though. If you're into that kind of storyline, I would definitely recommend it if you can find it, because I just picked it up in one of their little $5 trade boxes. So
Very nice.
I loved it though, and that was by Lydia Lunch. Interesting name.
Literally lunch.
But I've never heard of her. Lydia Lunch. Yeah. But I did like the art in it a lot. It was a good book. I would recommend it to anybody into serial killers and weird shit. So, yeah. My other one was Batman Chronicles The Gauntlet. This was by Bruce Camwell and Lee Weeks. Obviously DC. It was interesting. It was a good one. I really enjoyed it. Batman's my favorite superhero, but I've read some Batman that I really didn't care for because it's really boring. This one, there was a lot of action in it. There was a lot going on. It kept me interested the whole time I was reading it. But basically, it's mainly centered around Robin. And
which
this
Robin?
is Dick.
Okay.
So this is
He is a dick.
it's when he's young and Batman's not quite ready to let him go off and do his own thing yet. So the gauntlet, basically the gauntlet that you would pass on to the next person, is the idea of it. The whole thing is there's a situation going on that Batman would need to take care of, and at the same time, he's testing Robin to see if he's ready. So of course those two situations get intertwined, and Robin ends up in the middle of his shitstorm in Gotham. Kept me really interested. It was a good, solid story the whole time. Like I said, a lot of action. I would give it a 5. I was really happy with it. Anybody that's into Batman, but especially if you feel the same way about some of the older ones that are kind of slow moving and more detective than they are action, I would definitely recommend this one because it had a lot of action in it.
Big shout out to Ricky, which is one of our current contributors. What's up, Ricky?
What's going on, Ricky?
Hey, is that TV too loud? Is it?
So actually, I don't know.
Guys, is the TV too loud?
Yeah, answer us and let us know. Because I just noticed the action was a little bit loud.
Yeah, I'm working on something over here.
And Lewis is back.
Hi everybody. Sorry, it's a little late. Gotta get gas.
Yeah. I planned ahead for that. Like I plan ahead with my notes. It's the only things I plan ahead for.
Well, see, I was doing all fine and dandy until I got closer to 225, and I looked down and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Whoops. Alright, want me to go? Go for it. Okay. That's gonna be last. Okay, I have the Ravening. Ravening?
Love the cover.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure.
Let's see here. It just came out in 2016 by Boundless. It's... Yeah, right? What? I don't think so.
Nope.
For the giveaway.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Omega Red? Hell yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
You guys better, answer, because
It's a good giveaway right
That is a damn good giveaway.
We got 3 Deadpool issues, Deadpool 42, 43, and 44.
I do have an issue.
Uh-oh.
Our question that's on the top is from last week.
Is it?
Yeah, it is, actually.
So that question right there, that's going to be fixed. 1 second, guys.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, folks.
Alright, well, I'll continue while you're doing that. This is done by Jay Nitz and Jack Jadson. Jay also did, created, what's his name from Suicide Squad? The fire one.
Diablo.
I
love him.
Yes, and he's also worked on the Helena that I've read before and I absolutely loved. And I was kind of wondering if this one was going to be like Helena, where it's very graphic and dirty. I opened it up and there's an orgy. So yes, answer immediately. Definitely not for kids. Don't let your kids read it. Don't let your kids open it, touch it, anything like that. There's lots of sex and nudity and craziness. What I didn't like about it was it has 3 stories in it that I'm assuming will end up intertwined. But there were 3 different stories.
That's a lot to jam in one issue.
Fixed.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Apparently, the first story is this book, and then the second 2 stories are reprints from '97 that they put in color. Because it's an older title, but it's revamped.
Okay, it's getting revamped.
I didn't like that it was 3 stories. I really prefer it like solid one, fill up your pages
Well, did
with something.
the 3
You
stories
really do
flow?
not like the little melody
I
books.
don't. Except for
Comics are so short to begin with.
Exactly, you
If
don't
you
have
try to
enough
break them
room.
into pieces.
I can see that.
Yeah, you don't have
that's
enough
very
room to
true.
do it.
And we
you
don't have
like-
ADD like you.
Yeah, so. But
That's
I
gonna make a
mean,
difference.
overall it was pretty good. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Okay, so not terrible.
No, I'll get another one. No problem. I'm pretty sure the second one's already out. I'll read it some more.
The
See
Ravening?
where it goes. Yeah. Ravening?
If it's not out, if it didn't just come out, it's
I think
coming
it
out
just
this week.
came out. Yeah, it's one or the other.
That's kind of a high price for a comic issue.
It's because it's a nudie comic.
Oh, okay.
The nudie comics cost a little bit
Gotcha.
more. The nudie covers for the nudie comics cost an extra $2.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
These ones are $5.99. The nudie covers for them are $7.99.
And they're hard to find because most retailers won't pick them up.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know where to get them. Yep. And what's funnier is when I go to buy a book like this, if the comic book shop does carry the covers like that, immediately they look at me and go, "We have the better covers in the back." Well, thank you.
Well, at least
Don't
they-
mind if I do.
At least they bring that up, you know.
Yeah, they're good about it. I also have Blood and Dust: The Life and Undeath of Judd Glennie. This is number 2. I read the first one. I think I reviewed it last week.
Yes.
I like the storyline a lot. It's by Michael Martin and Adam Orndorff. I can never say that name. Basically, Orndorff.
Yeah, there's an R in there.
Okay, yeah, Orndorff. See, it's a weird last name.
That's why
I'm
I sit
sorry.
next to you. It's okay.
Exactly, and that's why I write notes. So basically, this picks up right where the last one left off. The main guy's grandson is missing. This one gives you a little bit more background of why he helps out the town kids when they go missing in the swamp, and shows you what's in the swamp and why the kids aren't coming home. So I really like that, and like, you know, because we were talking about comics are so small when they're just single issues like this that there's not much room for fucking up and adding bullshit. This is a fleshed out like chunk of a story. I didn't feel cheated. I felt like it was enough for an issue. I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 full moons. I really enjoyed it. The Strain, I don't know why I'm late to the party.
That's a great
But I am.
series.
I just started watching it. Apparently it came out in 2014.
Yes. It came out. The comic book came out simultaneously with the show.
Oh, it did?
I'm watching the show.
Okay.
The show's phenomenal.
I couldn't believe it.
By FX, it's on FX. Season 3 is airing right now.
I was gonna say,
You can
because
have
Hulu has season 1 and 2.
which I was.
So you can catch up.
I wanted to choke the shit out of Hulu because Hulu used to update the next day when the episodes would air.
Yeah.
Now they're not doing that anymore, unfortunately.
That's how I watched Lucifer.
And yes, I can't wait for season 2.
Oh, do you know what I liked about it too? That I don't know how I missed this one. Guillermo del Toro.
Yes,
That is part of it. I was like, I love him.
Yeah,
Fucking love him.
He's a producer.
So it's a great show. Guillermo del Toro.
Great makeup,
2 years
great
ago.
effects.
I missed out. I don't know. But I'm almost all the way through the first season. I only have 1 episode left, and I'm head over heels for it. They're like zombie vampire type of like weird, because they're not vampires entirely, but they're not.
They're the hive vampires.
They're weird.
Weird?
They're based off of a hive mind.
Yeah, but still, even the other
So
ones.
they're the Borg, but they're vampires. That's what you're saying.
Kind
They're
of.
vampire zombie Borg.
But they like
It's like the
stumble
worst kind of
around.
Borg.
Like they're brain dead for a lot of it in the beginning when they first turn, and like so they're more like zombies. So it.
So kind of like
But they
Life
kind of
Force?
evolve.
Yeah, like they evolve.
No, like they're the main.
They mature.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
They mature.
Oh, so from when they first they die, right?
Yeah, they die, and then they're
so that it takes them a while to
morons.
learn how to use
Yeah.
their new.
Yeah, they're the
Exactly.
mindless zombies that have to feed, and then as time goes
I like
on,
that,
they
though.
get,
That
they
makes
get more
sense.
instinctual.
That makes more sense than either being smart or not.
Exactly.
But I'd give them more like velociraptors. They start getting
There's just
predatory.
so many
They start becoming
different
predators. They start hunting in packs, and you start seeing they gain intelligence as predators, not so much as our intelligence.
It's really cool though. But I mean, some of them are smart.
Yes,
Like,
that
really
when
smart.
he lets them have their consciousness back.
David said, "What do you expect from the man
That
who
gets explained later.
wrote Jurassic Park?"
Who's the Velociraptor?
It was just a reference.
Yeah.
But it follows a CDC guy and the government working against him, and a big bad vampire that comes over from overseas, and there's creepy worm things, and it's all set in New York City, so you're kind of like
Yeah, they're all
almost claustrophobic, like they're all crammed into this small area.
What's so funny is that as time goes on, you really start to realize how short of a span all these events are happening.
Yeah, exactly, because it does tell you at the bottom.
And it is just like, wow. Like, you really get the effect that this is an epidemic. And I mean, that's what I love the CDC aspect of it. Is that you do get to see them dissecting it to a viral
And that
bacteria.
gives you that realistic aspect.
Exactly.
Yes, a very realistic aspect.
All right, here we go. Is everybody ready?
Her favorite movie of all time.
Okay, so
Just looking at the back, the special effects
I know.
look kind of bad.
So
The back kind of reminds me of Cradle of Fear.
I have.
I was this is American Guinea Pig, Bouquet of Guts and Gore. It came out in 2014.
Yeah, that's bad.
I was told by Chris that I should watch it, and I think he misled me.
He definitely did on purpose.
Wherever he's at right now, he's laughing.
He made it sound like he loved it when he told me to watch
honestly,
it.
I keep going back in my mind. I'm like, did he not sound like he loved it? Because I swear he sounded
Maybe he just
like
sounded
I
like
love this
maybe he just
movie.
thought you would. Whether he did or not. Maybe he thought you would be into it.
I texted him 10 minutes in and told him I thought you loved me. So, this movie, I looked up the IMDb.
Yeah, IMDb.
Thank you. And it said on their site, it was quoted saying, leaving every viewer shocked, amazed, and awestruck. I am shocked how bad this movie is, amazed anyone made it, and awestruck that I sat through the entire thing. There you go.
Damn
right. I guess.
You were all struck.
There we're right.
And shocked and amazed.
Basically, there's no plot.
Yeah,
It's just
and even
minus butcher.
if you actually go down to the next paragraph on IMDb,
Yeah.
it actually tells you there is zero plot. It's all about
Gore.
yeah.
These few
So it's
guys.
the Seinfeld of horror movies.
Worse. So much
Oh
worse.
wow.
These guys kidnap 2 girls to torture them to death for some unknown person that gets the videos. I don't know. There is no background noise, like no backtrack.
I think that would annoy me the most.
ambiance.
No, nothing. It's just-
you hear fat boys shuffling around and sweating
breathing.
and mouth breathing. And
Every now and then you get a grunt.
and they kept changing the film because they ran out, so then the screen would just go red for a minute.
Just
Oh,
as
wow.
we have had one incorrect answer to the question so far.
Ooh, okay.
So their answer
Alright.
was Marvel Comics, which Marvel Comics has not been
No.
given top rating by the show.
No,
Not for a while.
not ever. They have too many titles. Too many titles that aren't.
Yeah, too many titles that don't make the
They
cut.
bring down the average.
What we're talking about, just to repeat this, is
Every
every
book
book on the show that every
reviewed-
book has been
Oh.
reviewed 4 or higher.
Oh, okay, from a certain publisher.
Yes,
Oh.
and there's only 3 that have gotten that.
Okay, so
And David is actually throwing a hint out to everybody.
Yes, David, you cannot answer this week.
Yeah, David just won, so he can't win, but he did throw a hint out to everybody of, hint, if you know who published him, do you suck?
Wow, that's gotta be.
Continue.
Alright. This is painful even. So,
Wow.
the acting is absolute shit. Like,
Even the rubber people?
shit. Everything. The rubber people were the best part. Their acting
'Cause
was
there's
spot on.
There's a rubber people right there.
Yeah, it's one of the girls. And I will give them that the special effects for the body mutilations were okay.
Okay.
They were okay.
Not the
Not
best.
like
Not-
the new Evil Dead.
They were
Good.
not phenomenal, no.
Okay.
They were okay.
You know, I still haven't seen the new Evil Dead.
You suck.
Fellows.
So,
I have never gotten around to see it.
either, don't worry.
as soon as they
That
went
was
to
on it.
mutilate the heads, though,
I had to watch the
the value went absolutely to shit, and it was obviously a dummy. Like, obviously.
Yeah, it's obviously rubber people.
Yeah, obviously.
Like I said, that's a rubber people. I can
It
tell.
looks like, no, it looks like they're dissecting a sex doll.
Oh God.
That's a great way to put it. That's what it looks like.
Wow.
It has that effort in it, but
That rubber latex look that you can
Yeah.
immediately tell that
Yes.
this is.
Yes. I mean, yes, they do some fucked up things to the
Like,
dummies.
there's no pores on the skin.
But no, not in face.
Or, like,
the body
hair
was
or-
pretty solid. Oh, but you got to see boobs.
yeah, there's boob right there on the back
boobs
cover.
or real boobs?
There's bloody boobs right there. They're rubber.
There's but wait, the second pair were store-boughts.
Oh, they were not OE. They're not original equipment. It's aftermarket.
And the nipples were wall-eyed.
Oh, so they're bad store bought.
That's awful.
I know!
We're talking like Tara Reid level, or
Like, one was down here and one was like up here.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So Tara Reid level.
And that was on a
That's what
rubber
we're
person or
talking
on a real person?
I'm a real person, which
Wow.
became a rubber person.
On the rubber person, did they
I was
match?
gonna say, I already torn open her chest. I
Oh,
don't see
okay.
it. So,
That would have been embarrassing for her because she might not know.
right?
And then if they did do it to the rubber person, she'd be like, why'd you fuck up my nipples?
We have an answer.
Kind of.
But we're asking for the publisher.
Yeah, you gotta give us the
No, the
publisher.
publisher
You can't
company.
give us the name of an artist. You
So
can't
hurry
give
up
us
and get the
publisher.
publisher because you just gave other people the answer.
Yeah.
So
So
get
you
that
didn't.
quick.
You have to hurry.
Okay, so, and when they put the tourniquets on, because of course you have to have tourniquets so they don't bleed out immediately. So they put it on, but in the angle, you could see that the rubber bands that they were spinning when he stopped were still super loose. So I'm like, oh,
So they weren't even trying.
no. And at one point, the guy's like, oh, make sure to get the tourniquets tight so she don't bleed out. Da, da, da. I'm going, please let her bleed out. My hand.
Just got the movie
I
short.
can't handle it.
So what did you rate this movie?
New Moon.
Wow.
New.
Oh, new.
Opposite.
Not a damn
There's
thing
no
inside.
moon showing.
No one showing. And I have one thing to say to Stephen Biro, who made this pile of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you in the 73 minutes I can't get back of my life. Yeah. She probably
I think she
literally
took
counted
your
it.
rating as the worst rating ever given on the
That's
show.
why she knows it's 73 minutes, because she literally counted every
I
fucking
did.
one of them.
I did right there. Yeah.
No, right there.
And every 10 minutes I texted Chris.
And 52 minutes in, a message to everybody in the
Yeah,
nerdery.
no, it's 43, I think. 43 minutes into it, I texted the entire nerdery saying Chris doesn't love me. I thought everyone should know.
All right, Tanya, have you already?
Yeah, I did mine.
Okay. Let me take care of mine. Start off with the one that I cared the least amount for, Rise of the Black Flame.
Opposite what you're
Sound like
This-
a interesting battle.
This is a Hellboy spinoff. Now, do not get me wrong. Mike Mignola, I love his art. It fits what he writes perfectly. But I've never been a Hellboy fan. Not the books anyway. The movies are great, but the books are a little too slow moving for me. That being said, I didn't care for this book.
Well, who does it follow? You said it's a spin-off. Who does it follow?
That guy, kind of, but not really.
Who is that guy?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It follows a guy and you don't know his name?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's incredibly slow moving. I've gotten about 3/4 of the way through it, and it's just I couldn't see anything coming to pay off for it. Now I know there's a huge following for Hellboy and a huge following for Mike Mignola, and I'm not knocking that group by any means. For me, I'm gonna give it 2 capes because it's Mike Mignola's art and it fits his storylines so well. They're always so dark, and his art is dark and gritty, and I can really appreciate that. Even though I don't like this book, that doesn't mean it's a bad one. This is perfect for those Hellboy fanatics and those Mike Mignola fanatics. Just not for me. It was number 1, so I figured I'd grab it, see what it was about. Fret not, because I know a lot of you are Hellboy fans. This will go into the vault. You'll have a chance to get it. The Great Divide. This is another number 1. This is from Dynamite. Fisher and Markowitz. I had no idea what it was about. It's just another number 1. Grab it. Let me see what it's about. To break it down, there's some sort of virus or disease going around to where any physical contact, skin to skin, one of you will die within seconds in a very gruesome manner, like bleeding out the mouth, ears, and eyes.
Like
It's
kind of thing?
like eyes like exploding out of the head.
Whoa.
Yeah, like within seconds.
I hope it's you.
But so you've had a complete disintegration of society, and they call it the divide, the Great Divide. Dividing people. Wear gloves, wear masks, cover your skin, and you have this guy who was going to med school, and he's just trying to survive. He's just trying to make it out, and there's events that happen. They call them walkabouts. I don't know what that's about. Trust me, I'm going to keep reading this. This is good.
It comes with a free song.
Yes, it does. They come with a free song. Mood music for the apocalypse. Free song
Very
inside.
nice.
Now, I didn't download the song because this is probably going to wind up in the vault, and whoever gets it, I want them to have their song.
Oh,
Okay.
that's thoughtful.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, like when I first started reading it, I was like, this is kind of cliche. Post-apocalyptic. There's a lot of post-apocalyptic titles out there.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, the 3rd book on my list is a post-apocalyptic title. And
You have a theme this week, like I usually do.
yeah, post-apocalyptic. Except for that one. That one takes place in like the 1600s or some crap.
It looks regular apocalyptic.
No, it's in like it takes place in like 1823. But I kind of thought it was going to be cliche. Don't get me wrong, Dynamite's a great publisher, but they do have a lot of titles that come out that are pretty much cookie cutter. So I kept reading it. It was interesting enough to keep me there. And then the last probably about 4 pages set the hook. Yeah. And of course, nobody's having sex. There's no physical contact going on. So they have peekaboos. Top half, bottom half. Get the look. Pay an extra 20, you can sit on the edge of the bed. Like that. Well, anyway, our main character gets
Wow.
I thought that was weird. You know, that's a terrible life. So of course there's no procreation. It's now a definitive timeline. Within 100 years,
explode.
yeah. Within 100 years, there will be no more humans.
Yeah.
So your main character gets mugged, winds up at this little bartering post, walks in, and finds the woman who mugged him. She had hit him in the head with a crowbar, took a shit, and took off. And their currency is kind of like Waterworld. They actually have credits, but they're trading any remnants of the old world for it.
Yeah.
Mostly sex magazines, porn.
Nice.
In a world where you can't have the real thing,
Yeah.
hey, that comes a pretty hot commodity.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Chris would be a rich man?
Oh yeah.
I was thinking he'd love that.
That'd be a tycoon.
If this were to go down, and just walk over to his house and hey man, how you doing?
But don't touch it.
But he catches up with this woman. He basically starts arguing with her to get his shit back, and it's not like he can hit her.
Yeah.
So, and then her brother comes over and they square things up, and he gets his credit. He goes upstairs. He's gonna get himself a peekaboo. In the middle of his peekaboo, there's a knock at the door. It's the girl. She needs his help. He was almost a doctor in the real world. His brother's been shot, or her brother's been shot. She offers
So
him.
you can't touch him.
Well, keep in mind the peekaboo he just bought was for 3 credits.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've had 3 guesses. One of them was the parent company, but not the correct company. So the third guess was completely wrong. So that person is out.
All right. But in 3 credits he gets his peekaboo. Half peekaboo.
Yeah.
And she's offering him 100 credits to come save her brother. Well, 100 credits can go a really damn long way. So of course, 100 credits plus the 3 you owe me for the ruined peekaboo that I had going.
Yeah.
All right, you got a deal. Goes down there and he gets shot by somebody behind him.
What the
And
hell?
as he gets shot, he falls face to face with the brother.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave it right there for you too.
What y'all gonna
You're gonna have to get it to find out what happened.
Alright.
But you know, like I said, I thought this was gonna be really cliche, cookie cutter. No, I gotta give it 4K. This is very interesting. I like where it's going. I'm gonna keep reading it. This is awesome stuff. My last one is Eclipse #1 from Image, and this is actually a Top Cow book. Zach Kaplan and Giovanni Timpano. Now, Top Cow's been teasing this book, and Image has been teasing this book for the past 2 months. And they've been dropping like a page here, a page there, and a panel here, a panel there. I've been ready and waiting for this book for 2 months. To sum it up, there was a solar flare, and they don't know exactly what happened following that flare. They don't know if the sun was different or the earth is different, but anything in sunlight, any flesh, you're immediately cooked.
Whoa.
Just instantly. So you have these guys in these,
Spaceship.
they call them ice suits.
Yep.
They pump liquid nitrogen through the suit to keep them cool so they can walk around in the daytime and fix things, and everybody's living underground. And shit is starting to go awry. An ice suit, they're very, very difficult to get. You have to be an ice man to have them. They're not available on the black market. Somehow, some way, somebody was murdered, drug, or not even murdered, they were drug out and into the sun and left to die. After curfew. After the sun has already come up. So somebody has an ice suit that's not supposed to have it. And in the meantime, our main character is also trying to protect this girl who's trying to be killed by the same murderer. And, well, she's a party girl, so she's out at all the raves and the buildings. And
Yeah, they're basically underground parties during the daytime when everybody else is underground. underground, they're topside and special buildings parking it up.
Yeah. And
Of course.
one of the clubs that she's in, they call them day clubs. Thought that was funny. The club that she's in, somebody has actually begun to flood the roof. It's a flat roof building. It's only a matter of time. Roof collapsed. It was going to collapse.
Yeah.
And expose everybody in the club to the sun.
Oh God.
So they sneak her out the back, and they got her in this alleyway that's covered over the top, and the truck pulls up with 3 mirrors. Or 3 bodyguards pile on top of her, and they're instantly fried. And she's left alive underneath their burnt corpses.
Oh.
What happens to her, you're going to have to pick up. Eclipse number 1 to find out. 5 capes. I love this book. It was worth the wait.
I'm going to give it 4 right now. And the only reason being is, I told you, my scientific mind on some of the stuff is
inaccurate.
Bothered by it. Like, if everything's being burned, how's there oxygen?
Yeah.
Because the plant life will be destroyed as quickly as human body will.
Yeah.
So, that's the part that just like...
Suspend it.
And it's one thing...
They might go into it later.
And I'm hoping they will, because Top Cow is usually good for the details.
Yes.
Why it's able to do it, and that's the first time I've got one where I'm like, you didn't give me the freaking answer! so I'll give it 4 for now. I'll look for more.
And I have a game review. I know this game has actually been out for a while now.
Party.
Yeah, I am late to the party, but Warframe had to update, so I needed something else. Star Trek Online. Yes, I know my wife is stunned that I'm playing it.
I'm okay with it though, because I can watch the little stuff going on and I actually give a shit.
Yeah, you get to create your own character, you get your own ship, you get to fly around and handle missions and everything. I actually like it. The navigation's a bit wonky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I've only been playing it about a day, so. But so far, 5 capes. I really like it. I dig it. I want a bigger ship.
Alright, so this is going to be one of the first times we've actually done this.
A group
review.
Lewis.
No.
Lewis.
Yeah, I was the first one to read it. No.
I'm the first one to read
Funny
it.
part is I let Lewis read it, and then I refused to read it because he wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to make him have to wait till
And I was getting pissed.
I don't want to talk about it. So this is Animosity. So this one is from Aftershock Comics. This is one of, and by the way, thank you All Star Comics, because
That was their
I
recommendation.
absolutely am giving this 11. I enjoyed the shit out of this.
I'll follow that rating.
I'm giving it a 5.
He's giving it a
I'm
5.
giving it a 5.
Patty's got a low rating for it because she didn't enjoy it as much.
3.
Well, it's a halfway.
So my 11 makes
It
it
has
for the fucking rest of
potential.
it.
I gave it a 3.
I thought it was hilarious.
You don't like it to be
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, just.
This is a really good what the fuck.
It really
It has
was.
a bunch of shit where you're like, wait, what? Back, wait, and we got to watch time. Whoa. You have to bounce around in it.
I enjoyed watching everybody else around the table read it, and just moments of shock and oh my god. And then I finally read it, and I sit down, and I thought it was fucking hilarious.
As Tony said, it made her want to go pet her dog and make sure everything was cool with her dog.
It really does, doesn't it?
So I don't have anything to worry about with my dog.
I need to go pick up some treats.
I'm not going to give you a lot about the story itself.
There's not much
because
story.
There's not a lot to it.
No, it's a pure setup issue.
But
It is a setup.
yeah, this is the beginning. This you're gonna want to get this one. You're
Yeah.
gonna want to read it. You can go pick it up at All Star. They'll gladly set it up for you. Just tell them the nerdery sent you. I mean,
Yeah.
This is a worthwhile. I will absolutely keep going with the series.
I'll
I
follow
believe
it.
the new one comes out this month.
Do you want to give a little
Yes.
bit of what it's even about?
A little bit.
What it is, a little bit about it is that it's the premise of what would
You're gonna give a
happen.
lot.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Imagine animals gaining sentience and the ability to speak.
That's all I was gonna say.
Alright,
The
alright.
animals became conscious.
Okay.
But it's
that was it.
you don't even really know what happened. It's just all of them all at once.
Yeah.
Boom, it happened.
Worldwide, everywhere. Watch for the pandas. It's really interesting. That one will make you flip back to looking at a panel
Did
again.
that just happen?
So yeah, absolutely loved it. I mean, it's one of the few times where I've had one that truly what the fuck me.
Yeah.
Where I was like, because we've talked about what was our
Yeah, you
what the
had
fuck.
like the
Yeah.
That one's like,
You get to like the third.
you have several what the fuck is
It still wasn't mine. I will say I laughed my ass off.
I thought it was funny, but I didn't get any what the fuck moments. other than that one of a why. Oh yeah.
I mean, Steve was sitting there looking at me while I was reading it at the table, and it was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the
I think
fuck is
maybe
going
that's my
on?
like sense of reality when reading shit. I'm like, oh, they're conscious. All right, continue. Like,
Well, I mean, not
I'm
just-
not
I mean-
surprised by it. I'm not like,
Well, I mean, reading mostly nothing but horror. I mean, it takes a
Yeah.
lot to be like, oh, that's new.
yeah, exactly.
And we're reading it as a regular comic. Going,
Yeah.
That shouldn't have just happened.
I mean, I'm going, oh yeah, sure, they can talk, no problem. Yeah.
She was looking for more gore.
You know, it wasn't so much that it wasn't so much
There
the
was some
talking.
gore.
Yeah.
It was everything else that was going on.
I know. it's
But
funny.
yeah, like I said, I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. I'm really glad that
I'd be
was one of the
curious
ones
to
they
read
wanted
it
us
again.
to.
Another
Yes.
I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode and hoping there's more to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of course the beginning episodes, there's always you get the base and then you get a whole bunch
Introduction.
of
This is what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely enjoyed it.
I would read number 2. Even
And
with the leveling,
Luce,
I
you
would
have
read
our other one from All Star.
Yes, the other All-Star recommendation, Cyborg number 1, which this one will be going into the vault for possible giveaways later. This is this is kind of, I hate to call it an origin issue, but it kind of is. You see him fighting a certain villain, he's trying to get into Star Labs, and he's trying to get into a room that holds something that no one else knew except for Silas Stone, which we know Silas Stone is dead. And so it got to the point where he had to disclose this location. So, but the issue and all was actually okay. I didn't feel like it was just repetitive information or repetitive material.
Let me look again.
But the kicker came at the end of this issue. And what possibly is going to be happening to Cyborg going forward. And it's actually pretty interesting. And it brings up the question of, actually, being a longtime Teen Titans fan, a follower of this character, is Vic Stone as a machine? Or is he a machine that copied Vic Stone's consciousness? So it brings up that question: is he truly a cyborg in the sense of he's still human, or is he a cyborg in the sense that he's an android with just human parts that just thinks he's a human? So just with that question alone, it actually has me hooked, because that really hasn't been brought up with this character. We've always just taken it as Vic Stone. He went through this life-altering event, and he became cyborg, and it's just kind of never been fully in depth. As at least as much as this gives you. I give this actually a 4.5 gray skulls. And then I have my preliminary review of Supergirl, first 10 episodes. And I have to absolutely, now that it is on Netflix, the entire first season is 20 episodes long, it is on Netflix,
Not this week.
that I'm actually enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think they picked a very great actress to play Kara
Next week.
and everything else that follows, with her in and out infatuation with Olsen, with Jimmy Olsen, and it actually brought up a lot of things I didn't think they were going to bring up so soon. Her anger issues, and her trying to deal with her anger issues, which has kind of been an issue with the character, but not in the beginning. She was emotional, but not angry. It wasn't until I think it was New 52, where they actually brought up her anger issues, which led to the Red Daughter of Krypton, which is where she became a Red Lantern.
Yeah.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I have the most fun with all the Easter eggs. That's where I have all the fun. Club Apocalypse. They give you just to name a few. Some of the other characters that are involved in the DC universe that are there.
I just pointed, of course.
And my favorite is actually John Jones. Now that in the first 10 issues you find out that he is involved and how he's involved, and it's actually very interesting because you're starting to now see those dilemmas being brought to real life that John Jones has always had. And I absolutely am loving it. I'm actually going to probably binge watch the rest of the 10 episodes either tonight or going into tomorrow morning. I give it a 5 gray skulls. I absolutely loving it. It's not It's not as hopey as Flash, but I'm actually very eager to see those crossover episodes.
Well, that's actually where it's good.
Uh,
That's where it starts to get good. Once the crossover makes it.
So
Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl.
The crossover episode is a great episode. It really is.
I should be getting close to it. Like I said, I'm 10 episodes in. I mean, I love The Flash. I'm actually enjoying The Flash. I'm actually halfway through the second season of The Flash. Can't wait for the third. But actually, that's kind of all I have this week.
I don't know what it is about the crossover episodes, but they're adorable.
Dude,
you get excited, like, I know that guy. And he doesn't belong on my set. What's he doing here?
Eden's Fall last week. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Why are you here?
Oh, I have okay. First of all, Animosity #2 drops this Wednesday, the 14th.
Sweet.
Something else to look for on the racks. Definitely going to be one of the picks of the week. DC Universe versus Masters of the Universe.
Oh yeah!
What?
I got the hook up on what's coming out.
So All-Star will know I'll be there. Go ahead and count those into the listing. I will
I need
be
to
there
just bring them a
Saturday.
list. Like, get these. Buy all these for me.
That's
Because I will buy them every week.
Superwoman #2 comes out this week as well.
Yes, #1.
#2.
Superwoman or Supergirl?
No, Superwoman.
Okay, I'm not worried about that.
That one looked kind of interesting. I saw it on the rack when we went.
David says, I have the power!
Everybody's just waiting for me to say what's
Yeah.
cool is coming out this week.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Pretty much.
We're waiting on you because we've done a review.
Well, here, while he's doing that, I'll tell Lewis the evil that I've done to him.
Oh.
God, what now?
So, literally, to the nerdery, to our personal email, I sent everybody a copy of the Scatman ringtone. To download and use at their pleasure.
He's never going to call us again.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
That's
Or he won't for a while and then he'll forget.
Unfortunately, I mean, I sat down the other night and decided to make ringtones for everybody. So, of course, when I got to Lewis, I had to make, Lewis a couple special ringtones.
Oh God, a couple ringtones.
We all got special ringtones.
Yeah.
Mine are cool. Yours are fighting.
Also this week, a trade is being released by IDW. Mars Attacks versus Judge Dredd.
Oh, wow.
Really?
What? Oh, that's just ridiculous.
Which is a perfect segue into the movie of the night. Dredd. Not Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Dredd.
Urban.
And not Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Correct. Hilarious movie. Not for this show.
What?
Max.
You read that?
No, but I want to.
John David, does one of them say put me in a dress?
So what's my ringtone? What did I get?
I gotta find yours. I
know,
found
he's
one
Smallville.
that didn't record right.
No.
His is Smallville. Chris got Tokyo Ghoul.
I already have that.
Your 7 Deadly Sins. And I haven't.
His is Smallville for me, too.
Actually, Chris is.
See, my noise is always off on my phone, so I
Mine
don't
is.
set
He's the only one who's
I'm the Cookie Monster.
Symmetry #7 will drop this week.
Nice. Save.
See, I don't even remember what I got for JD actually.
I forgot what one of mine was, but I know the other one's the Crypt Keeper laughing.
Oh yeah. All right. So
Oh, yeah.
So JD's ringtone does it just seem fitting?
He's an asshole, sir.
It's about right.
And then for his text tone, of course.
Thundercats.
Very nice.
All right, but let's talk about Dredd. There's a lot of people who want to see a Dredd 2,
I'm one of them.
and it's so much so that there's been petitions floated around on the internet, which
For years.
quickly gained over 80,000 signatures.
I was one of them.
And of course, there's always rumors bouncing around.
Always.
Well, we have confirmation of a new rumor. Confirmation of a new rumor. This is straight from Carl Urban, not directly to us,
The
but
confirmation that the rumor is a rumor?
No, the
confirmation that conversations are happening
Okay.
is how it was worded. Apparently, it's an extremely difficult sell because it
flopped in theaters.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say it did flop in theaters, but according to everybody who was involved in the project, that was a marketing failure, not a filmmaking failure, and I agree.
Basically, they just have to convince someone of that.
Yeah, and I didn't even know the movie came out until it was already on DVD.
Well, I knew about it, and I went to go see it in theaters, and I absolutely loved it.
But there was
And-
hardly
but-
any advertisement for it.
There was hardly anybody in the theater, and I went to go see it opening weekend. And
Where do you remember seeing it advertised at? Or do you remember?
Actually, I remember seeing it advertised on just randomly looking at movie reviews or movie trailers.
Okay, so
I was
you're,
just up and coming movie trailers, and I saw Dread, and actually I've known
so
about
you
it.
happened across it though. It wasn't put in your face like so
Well-
many other movies.
Well, no, and then after I saw the teaser, I went and looked, and I knew about it right after. I think it was right after Kyle Urban did Pathfinder, and he was talking about possible.
I have a special request from David because he's trying to help out. To give the person guessing another chance because she partially got.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
David's asking. I'll let it happen.
I'll allow it. But yes, Carl Urban said it is a very difficult sell because it did so poorly in the box office. But they want to go with a movie, but they are more than willing to go in the direction of a streaming television series.
I did hear that one.
But it has been confirmed from Carl Urban directly that there are conversations happening involving this. Nothing is under production. Nothing is under pre-production.
Nothing's signed.
I do know that there have been more than one script pop up throughout them trying to get a sequel made, and it hasn't taken.
There's the two scripts that I saw was The Dark Judges, which
Well, that was the original intention. Dread was originally supposed to be the first installation of a trilogy. The second one was actually supposed to be a Mega City 1 and Judge Dredd origin. And the third one was supposed to bring about the Dark Judges.
The other one I've seen is Cursed Earth.
Cursed Earth?
Yeah, Cursed Earth is where he actually goes out into the wasteland to bring justice to the outside world, outside of Mega City 1. That was the other major script that I saw. That was
he have Rob Schneider with him?
I hope not. Not that Rob Schneider made that movie very tolerable.
Welcome back to Nerdy. For those of you who are listening, I'm JD.
I didn't even know we were on break.
Hey!
Lewis.
Steven!
Yeah, we were busy, so sorry about that. Apparently everybody here was busy stuffing themselves with bugles.
So we are some eating ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, we are.
Guys are just eating. I'm fatty. I gotta eat.
That's better than an ass eating motherfucker.
That'd be an entirely different show. And cost.
Yeah. And you wouldn't be watching it for free. You'd have to pay. It'd be on YouTube Red. It's the only way we can do that on YouTube. Discussion for tonight is what are we nerdy about? What got us into that? And why are we still nerds about it? And this was actually a requested topic, which I love it when we get those, because that saves me from having to do a lot of thinking and debating. And don't forget, the question is still out there. Name one publisher that has received the honor of being labeled as a top-rated publisher by the Nerdery. Just for all you people out there listening in the interweb world, question's still out there. Nobody's answered, or nobody's gotten it correctly. Let's put it that way.
People have answered. David's trying very hard to help.
Very hard to help.
Alright, so what makes... Alright, I'll start mine off because I'm nerdy.
What are you a nerd about?
I'm nerdy about a lot of shit.
Right.
So, I am a computer nerd, I'm a gaming nerd, comic book nerd, anime nerd, and now a cosplay nerd. So, let's start with the most simple. Computer nerd. I liked playing online games. I didn't like paying people to fix it. So I started learning how to take them apart and fix them myself because I'm a cheap bastard.
And soup them up.
Yeah, soup them up afterwards, which became my career. Gaming. Always loved gaming. Especially like when my brothers moved away. Because we could get on a game and talk to each other without running on the phone bill.
Yeah.
So that's literally how that really came about. Is we would be able to.
And you'd be doing something, not just sitting
Yeah.
there like, what you doing? Nothing. What you doing? Nothing.
And then taking out aggravation, laying waste to stuff. Comic book nerds, like probably most of us here. When I was a kid, comics were able to be gotten. Got into characters that I loved reading about, and the stories kept me so entertained and kept me bouncing around, which is why I say I'm neither Marvel nor DC nor any set, because I bounced through all sorts of comics. If it caught my interest, I read it. Cosplaying, really started doing cosplaying now more at the shows, and I have a blast doing it. I love the little kids that run up and they want to.
How'd you get into it?
Because you're all bastards. No.
That's what I was waiting on.
Going with the nerd and seeing people cosplay, and realizing that even a fat guy could do cosplay and really actually still have fun with it. So I started doing it, and I enjoy the hell out of it, and I've done it now at several shows, including one that there's a picture of me grabbing Patty's butt.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting ready to hit you with a bat.
And we had to keep telling him to stop smiling. Because he was smiling like he was too happy.
But,
like you're supposed to be mad that he's stretching your butt.
So, now what's kept me in comic books is new stories, what's entertaining. I have to say it, one of the biggest ones that's really pushed me back has been Top Cow. Gaming, I still love gaming. Will probably always love gaming. I'll be a 90-year-old guy out there whooping some little young kid's ass.
Take to school.
Teabagging when I'm done.
Well, that industry changes so much and so fast that you
got to keep up.
Always something.
There's a whole new set of VR stuff getting ready to come out that is beyond belief. We're getting some of it in at the school already with full motion capture suits, and it's
awesome.
Pretty fucking impressive.
DE is apparently already looking to integrate VR into capable consoles on Warframe to test out using Warframe in VR.
And then computers, I will always be a computer nerd. I'm always going to be a tech nerd. I will admit I'm actually starting to become a 3D printing nerd really severely because of all the stuff you can do with it.
So are you going to go to TennoCon with me? Is that what you're saying? It's a front line of gaming tech and interface.
I might actually.
I
would consider it.
Maybe we'll see Rachel Messer there again.
It'd be a good interview.
Now that she knows it exists.
Yeah. She got to see her own character.
Yeah. I was the first person to show her one of her own characters.
That's cool.
That she voiced. She began voicing 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, because she said she couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Which means I need to teach her how to Google because it wasn't hard to find. I looked it up. Don't worry, I have to teach my students how to Google all the time anyway.
I'm a Google master.
Oh, you'd be surprised. There's some other ways to Google that people don't realize that we've found entire caches of credit cards.
Oh,
and social security numbers and all that stuff that are.
Then you're the one that needs to go find my butt pictures. I still haven't seen any pictures of
You
my
say
butt.
that my wife was chasing 2 cartoons from her childhood. She can only remember like a couple little parts of it, and I literally tracked them all down as we were driving in the car.
Oh, I have a movie you need to find then too.
Song of the South, uncut?
No, I've seen that.
I
Any details?
Oh wow, uncut?
Oh, I don't know if it was uncut, but in the 80s it came re-released
wasn't
in the
uncut.
theaters, and my great-grandparents took me.
That was the third phase of edit.
Okay.
Now Disney won't even acknowledge that movie was ever made.
I've seen it. I know it exists.
Disney don't want to acknowledge that they were once the sponsor and recording artist for ICP.
That's funny.
I don't know how they pulled that one off.
Okay, who's next?
Go ahead, Lewis.
Like you, Steven, I'm nerdy about a lot of stuff.
We all are. That's why we're here.
Obviously. Gaming in the majority of it. Comics, computers also, cars, just read about a lot of stuff.
Well, you're next.
And you know, a lot of it came from childhood. I'm pretty sure, like everybody else, a lot of it came from childhood. My uncle, God rest his soul, actually got me into gaming. I remember playing games with him on the original Nintendo back when I lived in California. Actually, I still remember my first game I ever beat was Contra, the original Contra.
Oh wow!
Up, down, left, right, A, B, select start.
Actually,
finally, 2 shots later.
And actually, my proudest moment was actually when I beat his high score. I remember that.
Pinball.
Pinball wizard.
Song was written
From David, really, and I thought you were on a show called The Nerdery for an ironic reason, Lewis.
That's why we're here. We're nerds.
You even get it from the other side of the screen.
They're out there on the interwebs just watching, just waiting for you. Just fuck.
Do I just inspire smartass?
Yes.
Do I just inspire sarcasm?
Yes.
It's just you, sir.
It's the kind of people you're hanging around, I think, is where you're fucking up.
We're professionals.
Well, we don't really get paid for this.
No.
I really think there's better friends out there somewhere for you, but I mean, this is what you got right now, so take it or leave it, man.
So you're a game nerd. All right, go ahead.
No, fuck that. I don't even want to go no more.
You should continue.
It's good stuff. Great stuff.
That's someone else though.
Can play your song for you.
No, I'm good.
Oh, Pinball Nerd!
Yeah.
That's my gaming right there, and free. Free. I like free. I love free.
That's not your only gaming.
That's not free.
That's just like a start there.
I was about to say, you
How quarters in that bitch?
What?
Yeah. Play for how
He's
long?
a wizard, remember?
Oh, yeah.
He can play for hours.
Actually, the movie theater in the San Jacinto Mall used to have a pinball machine, Terminator 2 machine.
I remember that.
I am the reason they put a time limit on your credits.
Oh.
15 minutes. You have 15 minutes of game time, no matter how good you are, it'll kill you. I am the reason they changed that
Because
setting.
you brought the average way up past 15.
Damn.
Yeah, I had played for over 6 hours on a quarter.
Holy hell.
And in that
wizard.
in that time, I had accrued over 100 extra balls. So
Hey, I can say I was an air hockey wizard. Took somebody's tooth out with it. That's a true story.
it's good. No, I'm a comic book nerd. I'm an art nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Car and music. High performance nerd. That was pretty simple. My dad, he worked at a speed shop when I was a kid. He had his own when I was a kid, and I grew up in the back of the shop because you don't want little kids in the front of your speed shop when you're the owner. So you put them in the office or in the garage in the back, let them run around out there where there's large heavy equipment that can fall on. I'm fine now. Maybe. I don't know. Ask her.
That explains a lot.
Yes, David, exactly. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid can sure play some mean pinball.
Fuck right. But no, and that came pretty simple. That was natural to be into what my dad was into and want to be like him. As far as comic books, my dad was never into them. Didn't care for them. But I grew up pretty much at my grandparents' house, and they liked to watch Nick at Night. They liked to watch Green Acres. And if I could suffer through Green Acres without whining or complaining,
I like that show.
I love it now. I didn't when I was a little kid. Try watching it when you're 4. It's not as entertaining. Not really, no.
I'm not the one with Josh Gabor. Fuck yeah! See, even young, I was like, yeah. Good.
But if I was able to get through, that without complaining or causing a big scene, then they would let me stay up and watch the show that came on Nick at Night immediately after, The Adventures of Superman with George Reeves, which I'm sure y'all might be even tired of me talking about it. But it was my first exposure to something that was actually catered to children. It was designed for people that were my age at the time, and I fell in love with the character. He always did what was right, made the hard decisions, and he didn't look back, didn't think twice about it because it was the right thing to do, and that was cool for me. That's something I didn't see in my daily life, and I had a lot of respect for him. And naturally, next time I'm with them and I'm at an antique store and there's a Superman comic book, I lost my shit. I had to have it. I absolutely had to. And they bought it for me, and lo and behold, it actually had George Reeves in it throughout the entire comic book. 3 of the villains actually teamed up to kill Superman, and they stumbled across the Hollywood set and kidnapped George Reeves instead. and it's just George Reeves throughout the whole comic book, except for the last page where the real Superman swoops in and saves him.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a comic book.
Yeah, that's the one that I've been searching for the past 3 years to try to get another copy of. And it was all downhill after that. I went for a long period of time without actually reading or collecting, and Jimmy actually got me back into it. And he asked me a simple question here. Did you enjoy it when you were a kid? Yeah. Why don't you read it now? It's kind of for kids. No. There's actually, go back and read some of the stuff you had when you were a kid. And, really think about it. There's some really deep messages in there.
You get different things out of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do. I really do. One of my first fully collected comic book series was The Daredevil Fall from Grace. And when I read it, it was just really dark and twisted. And now that's highly introspective, what's going on in that story. And it'll kind of make you take a long, hard look at yourself and see what the evils that are in you. But yeah, after that, it was all downhill. I'm going to start reading again, and I haven't looked back. Art, well, I was a bored kid with not a lot of toys and a pencil and plenty of walls to write on. So, yeah. In music, I came from a musical family. Everybody in my family was a musician except for my poor old grandfather who couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. But that, once again, that was just something natural. I wanted to be like my dad. I wanted to be like my uncle and my aunt and my grandmother. They were all musicians, and I wanted to be like them. So there was always musical instruments laying around the house, and yeah, I was always running off and grabbing one and taking it
Playing
somewhere.
with it, yeah.
Except for the piano. You don't.
Yeah,
you don't run off the piano. You just
you
kinda,
could, but it's a lot of effort.
yeah, especially when you're 5.
What are you doing? You got a halfway across the room. What are you doing?
Yeah. I got a lot of those. And they're sitting at the piano. Have my uncle peek in. What do you think you're doing? Nothing.
Play Beethoven 7th. Fuck you.
But as far as now, I still enjoy music. That's what keeps me in it. I'll probably never take it as seriously as I once did, just because the investment required. Comic books, my kids want to read comics now, and I've heard some criticism here and there. You really let your kids read comics? What does your kid read and want to read?
Yeah, get excited about reading.
Yeah.
Excited about going to the store to get more of this.
About reading, period.
Yeah, and I know so many other parents, and their kids only read because they have to.
Yeah.
They don't want to read. I come home and say, hey, y'all want to go to the comic book store? They're ready to go.
Yeah.
They want something new to read. And hey, as long as they're reading, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll let them read whatever comics. Of course, we pre-screen them, make sure they're appropriate for their age.
Yeah, usually look for the comic book code.
Yeah, we usually go old school because those are the less expensive comics.
And we know they're safe without even having to flip through it.
Yeah, that code is a huge security blanket for
And
parents.
yeah, we want to go the less expensive route because our kids are young.
They're going to mess them up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and plain and simple. And art, well, comic books, of course, keep me in art as well. Tanya and I are actually writing one of our own. So, yeah, it's pretty simple. But I'm a hardcore Superman fan for the reasons I stated prior. I probably always will be, for those same reasons. There's the one hero that I can say always does the right thing, regardless of how much they don't want to. Unless they might not like that choice.
About it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do it, because that's the right thing. More father.
Alright, my turn?
Your turn.
Alright.
You're going to make me go last?
Yep. So, God, pick my tops, I guess. I'm an art nerd all the way. All the way. I mean, museum going, painting, staring at, like, picking everything apart. And that's why I think I have a hard time with comics sometimes. Is I'm picking the art apart the entire time. And why I'm so judgmental of myself, because I'm fucking picking apart all the time. But definitely an art nerd. I'm a reading nerd. I love to read. I read novels. I've always loved to read ever since I was little. Comic books, I really got into more recently. But I've always had that want from when I was younger.
Is that the nerdery thing that kind of pushed you right over the edge?
It did. I had a few comics at home. I had bought them because I liked the artwork in them, but I had never read them. I was like, wow, this is really pretty. I'm going to buy it. And then it sat in my closet, like, for 6 years. Never read the thing. I still haven't read them. I've gotten to it. And they're, like, in the middle of a series and stuff.
Oh,
like,
wow.
There's no, like, logic to buying those comics at all, other than I like that pretty picture. So I've started reading comics now, and I'm amazed I didn't get into it sooner. My mom was not around too much, but I always idolized her. She was the cool mom. She was the different mom. She's also where I get my horror nerd from. She was super into horror, like the type of people that you walk in their house and they have red light bulbs and the walls are painted purple and everything's black and some crazy decorations and always a horror movie around. Like, it was a weird mom.
Is Halloween the best time of year for you?
For decorations.
Yes.
Yes.
And they stay up all year?
Yes. But absolutely. But she always read comics and had a huge collection and stuff, and I remember that, and I remember thinking I would probably like it because I like to read so much and I love art so much, so that all just kind of went hand in hand. Now it's an obsession. It's really bad.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's really bad. I have to budget myself every week when I buy comics.
What do you got? I gotta read comics, man. Gotta read some comics.
I'll be selling my ass on the street corners.
Coming soon. Full Moon Patty.
Exactly.
I'll make you a special page on the website.
Thanks.
Help Patty buy comics.
The nerdery back page.
Back cover.
Yeah.
Back cover.
I like
it. So bad. But yeah, I definitely, like you said about your family and stuff.
David said comics cracks cheaper.
Yes. Yes, it is. But, like, you grow up with your family and, like, those are the people you idolize. Because
Whether you want to or not.
yes, no matter how fucked up it could be or a situation or anything, you can't help it. Like, I'm over 30 and I still get excited to run to my mom with things like, oh my god, look what happened, or look what I can do, or you know what I mean. And I'm over 30.
I have to keep my dad. I have to keep my dad updated on what's going on with the nerdery.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, we got our first sponsor.
Oh, see.
What does that mean?
Exciting.
Well, they're gonna do this for us. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, they gave us free tickets to go to this convention. To do what? To talk about it.
You're like, holy shit. Yeah, I think you're always, no matter what, no matter if you like your parents or hate them, you're always searching for that validation from them.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But horror, I think I'm always looking for, I stayed in it so long because I'm always looking for that next thing to surprise me. Because now at this point, it's really fucking hard to surprise me. Like, it's hard to impress me and it's hard to surprise me.
I got a book that'll surprise you.
Really?
It's a Superman book, but it'll surprise you.
Oh, that's cool. But you know, like, I've seen so many
Red
stories.
Sun.
And like, you read the descriptions of movies. I'm a total movie nerd, but horror especially. But you read the description and I'll be like, yep, seen a movie just like that. Oh, next sentence, yep, another one was just like that one. Next sentence, this is like a combination of 3 fucking movies I've already seen. You know what I mean? Like, every movie's like that now, so I'm constantly looking for that next thing.
I got a movie for you today.
Nice, perfect. I'll be set for the movie.
Imposter with Gary Sinise.
I think that's on Netflix.
It is.
Is it?
I think so. I think I saw that earlier.
I thought I did. Well,
Netflix has all kinds of shit.
We have an answer.
Really?
Is it
Finally!
correct?
Yay!
No.
Oh, well, what was her answer?
Top Cal. Did I
Top
miss
Cal.
it?
Top Cal, yes. Top Cal is one of the 3 top-rated publishers. The other 2 are Overground and 451 Media.
Yes.
Very nice.
So,
I'm trying to think of why else I stayed in it. Well, comics are new. Art, I just love. Period. I've always loved art. I've always been an artist at heart. My mom was an artist. Again, my mom. My dad was a mechanic, so he built shit.
which is art.
Which is art, exactly. My dad built a motorcycle in our living room. I remember as a child. He could also airbrush, not like fancy shit, but he could solid airbrush something.
Yeah.
And it just all came together, and I love to know little stupid facts about all the artists and like I know Andy Warhol was terrified of doctors and refused to go up until his surgery. He went into New York City's hospital for surgery and never came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was ironic.
Over a
things.
stupid fuck up. I think it was like an allergy to a medicine.
Oh,
Wow.
It was something stupid. I can't remember exactly what it was, but like I love it all, and I love to learn. I think that's why I get into all that shit too. I keep going with it because I like learning. That's why I watch all the special features too on everything except for this piece of shit. I refuse.
Oh, come on.
No, not even one more minute.
Maybe that's where all the good shit is. You'll never know.
I know. I guess that's about it. I guess.
Alright.
What you got?
I don't know. I feel weird now
What are
because
you
I'm
nerdy
last.
about?
I have to go after all these.
She's
I
nerdy
know
about
things.
grammar. I can tell you that
Yeah.
right now.
Okay, I guess that counts. I didn't think about that one.
Incredibly nerdy
I've
about
been called
grammar.
grammar Nazi since like junior high, so I think I would qualify as that.
Meet our editor.
Yeah. It's perfect for me. I'm
sure
nerdy about
that's why I
numbers
was on
too,
purpose.
actually.
Yes.
Math was always my favorite subject because and I know exactly why. Everybody thought I was crazy because I liked doing equations and math. I loved it, and I didn't even understand it for a long time. And finally, as an accountant now, which is a perfect job for me, I realized when I'm doing math or anything dealing with numbers, my mind is focused in a tunnel vision of that. There's no more other shit that swirls around your head all day long.
And there's always
If I'm
one
dealing
right
with
answer.
numbers, yeah, and there's like
That
there's-
completion.
You have to get to this, and then once I get it, I feel accomplished. I feel I've done something, and I've done it right, and I
Yeah.
know I did it right because I did it,
Yeah.
and it's me. So I'm nerdy about numbers. I'm nerdy about grammar. As a kid, the only thing I think I was really nerdy with was Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo. We had an Atari. We had all the
Right
old
on.
systems.
Fucking ColecoVision.
I loved them.
So Ricky said, "Thank God for Tanya. She can correct all my screw ups."
I actually edited
We
your article,
edited
Ricky.
yours actually, and I haven't even read it, to be honest with you.
I
For
shared it.
shame.
It's not in my alley of the people
I know.
editing.
Hey, I didn't read it, but I shared it.
There you go.
I read it.
I shared
But
it.
from what I heard, you did very good on it to
It was
begin
good-
with, and
it
it
was
didn't
good
need a lot of
art.
fixing.
It really didn't.
Yeah. So good job, Ricky. I was going somewhere. Okay, as a kid though, I never read comics as a kid, but I played video games. I liked video games, and I loved the Batman movies. I think that's the only like
I love
comic book
those,
related
too.
thing I got into as a kid was the '90s Batman movies. And I
80s
loved
and
them.
90s.
80s and 90s. So now that's my nostalgic one. Like Superman's your biggest nostalgic one. Like Batman's the only one I even knew really who it was as a kid. I heard of Spider-Man, Superman, but I didn't get into him as a kid. So I think that's why Batman's carried over, and I still love Batman so much.
Welcome, dirty old man Chris.
Ah, he missed my review.
Nah, he can go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, you need to.
But then getting older, I think I go through phases with my nerdiness. I
Yeah.
went through a phase of being a car nerd. I
Yeah.
got really into that.
Star
Wanted
Trek.
to learn how the whole thing worked. I do that. I want to know how something works, and then once I understand it, I can move
Like
on
me.
and go to a new thing.
You like me?
So yeah, and then I'm still very much a Star Trek nerd. I want to see everything Star Trek. I love Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek most.
Yes.
And anything new that comes out that I feel like he'd approve of, I approve of. Because I loved what he wanted out of it.
Yeah.
And some of it I don't really think was really where he really would have gone with it. And those
Agreed.
aren't really my favorites. But yeah, I'm a Gene Roddenberry nerd. That's what I'll say. And then I'm a huge music nerd, not in the way that you are, because I don't play music, but I want to listen to every music that has ever been created, and I love 90-something% of it. I love music. That's what my whole slush fund of my paychecks goes into, is concerts,
Yeah.
music. That's what I want to do in life for my free time. I love music. I got into D&D because of you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was you, which I love, and I'm really pissed that we don't play it anymore. So that's on you.
You need to print up some character sheets so I can work on that new campaign.
It's gotta be on me now. You twist that around on me.
I've never even known anyone who did it.
You're gonna do it.
Besides you guys.
Besides you guys. I've never even known anyone in my life.
We're actively doing it. Like,
Okay, well,
we're gonna go play.
You're gonna play with us, and you're gonna love it.
I did it for a while, and then I went on like a
Actually,
8-year
you
hiatus.
probably will just
Yeah.
because it's letting your mind run wild
Yes,
It
and
is
that is
very
what it is.
creative, imaginative, kind of.
and problem solving.
And it's, as with many things nerd, it sounds cheesy before you do it.
Yeah.
But then once you do it, just like with comic books, you're like, it's not really my thing.
I was
And then you try it, and you're like, oh my god, I need more of that.
I was
I'm like,
unwillingly introduced to D&D. I was in a band, and everybody else in the band played D&D except for me. And we had just played a show, and
Sounds
everybody
like a
wanted to
really
go
awesome
back.
Band. Real
Yeah.
hardcore.
Yeah, like, I was shocked. I didn't know because we had just played a show, and we were normally going to our normal spot we go to and get hammered.
That's
Sweet.
like long black hair, black smudged makeup. Let's play D&D.
Close.
Really?
Close.
That's
Pretty much.
hilarious. That's amazing.
That's what I tell
And,
people whenever I tell people I played D&D, and they'd be like, are you serious? No, it's not what you think. They're all tattooed up and pierced, and we're all drinking and getting trashed and
Yeah.
smoking, and it's not what you're picturing, I promise.
Well, they said, oh, we're going to go back to our normal spot and we're going to get hammered. All right, cool. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to play D&D. We're going to play drunk D&D. I'm like, what? Okay.
D&D.
Wait a minute. I don't know if I want to be a part of this. I'm going to come drink, but I'm not playing. All right, cool. And I'm sitting there, and probably about a half hour through it, I'm like, fuck, I want in on this shit. This is fucking hilarious.
I do think the DM could make a very big difference to make a
Yes,
It really does.
The DM that I originally played bass for me, and he had one of the characters strung up by his big toes to a rafter upside down by sinew, and then he had the character, he was being interrogated, and he had a steel ball in one hand, steel ball in the other, and each one was attached to a piece of sinew. One piece of sinew went to a testicle, one piece of sinew went to his throat, and he was whipping it. And every time he whipped him, well, you have to check your reflexes
Yeah.
or your constitution
So
to not waver. And if you fail, well, now you have to check your reflexes. Can you be fast enough to re-catch this fucking thing? And at one point, he wound up catching the sinew, and the sinew cut his fingers off, and it dropped and ripped off his testicle, which immediately put him in a ton more pain, which caused more checks, and he dropped the other one, which ripped his head off. And
Not
well, that
what
was
you're
just
picturing, is
fucking
it?
awesome.
I was ball gagged and tied to a chair once.
Nice.
Was that D&D or real life? It's totally different.
Just saying, it's more fun than what you're picturing.
That's a different kind of role playing.
Oh, I'm on my thing then.
Yeah.
D&D. I don't know. I think that kind of covered my.
All your
Well, you're
I'm
getting
getting
into
into comic books now. I am getting into them, which I've always been. I guess you could call me like a literature nerd because I always liked books. I'm not a big nonfiction. I'm not a big fiction guy. I'm more of a nonfiction.
I'm the same way.
I like stories, not necessarily like textbooks.
Yeah.
But I want to read stories about real people's lives and the things that they've done in their lives. I love those, and I want to read more about all these people who've done things that I haven't done or I may never do. So I've always loved reading for that, but I never got into comic books because it's basically the book with the pictures means less words, there's less to learn, there's less to do with. But I do like the content of what there is in a lot of comic books that you don't have in regular books, and these are fiction, so it's different to read these when I've never really been a fiction fan. But I like the whole good versus evil, I like the whole...
duality of man.
Yeah, I like that. I like how deep that gets.
You like that? That's a Full Metal Jacket for your ass.
But yeah, I like the metaphors and the, like you were talking about, the introspection that you get from it to start thinking about your own self and your own life and other people that you know in your life. And the more you understand about some of these characters, you can apply it to other people in your own life and start to understand them better sometimes. Like, I like what you can get out of them, so I am interested in continuing to read comic books for that reason.
There's a certain book, I haven't read it, but I'm going to heavily suggest it to you. It is a true Batman story. It's a story actually about one of the Batman writers. he was jumped, beaten, and robbed in an alley, and spent a good amount of time in a wheelchair in casts, and he had nothing to comfort him except Batman
stories.
Yeah, and it's a book, and it is a comic book. It is a graphic novel, and it's about how Batman saved his life.
Oh wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
I think I did.
What is it called?
I think it's called a real Batman story or something.
See, and I like stories like that.
Something. Yeah, I think it was somewhere along that line.
I'll Google it.
It was actually
Google it.
They did a.
But I will say most of the things that got me into my nerdy things were other people. Just people that I've met in my path in life.
Dark
got me
Knight,
different things.
a true Batman story by Paul Dini
Okay.
and
That's quick.
Eduardo Risso.
That sounds like a good one. And so then the same thing, I guess, that keeps me into the nerdy things is the people around me.
What's going on?
They're writing paragraphs.
Probably. You know me, David.
What that's it.
He's asking if I remember something, and I have the worst memory of anyone I've ever met in my life. So
Yeah, she's not a memory nerd.
I keep David around as my memory, and he's asking if I remember something. Oh, wow. That looks interesting. Oh, and it's Vertigo, so it's good.
Yeah.
Nice. Vertigo generally means good to me.
Yeah, she's more of a Vertigo, Dark Horse kind of gal.
Yeah.
And you're more of an Action Lab, Xenoscope, some Dynamite, Coffin.
Yeah, some Dynamite. Coffin, definitely. Although, no, it's okay. Ships are taking a long fucking time, that's all. It just feels like it's taking a long time.
And for those of you watching, feel more than welcome to comment and chat with us. What are you nerdy about and why? What got you into that?
You know, my art nerd also ties into the horror shit because of the making of the effects and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that also keeps me going into the horror thing, going, how'd they do that?
Go from the
We've had the pleasure of meeting
Yeah.
a true horror artist, George Giordano.
Yeah.
Incredible guy, just creativity out the ass.
Yeah.
Like, he looks at everyday things. Shit you just have laying around the house. He goes, oh, dude, this could be this and that and this and that.
Yeah.
Look, you won't even recognize it anymore. And
that horse. The little toy horse.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I love that his whole family gets into it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, because his daughter Emma is very much into it and cosplay.
Yes. And his wife, of course, is manager, and I believe she does all the bookwork for the company. I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Let's see. My daughter says I'm a music nerd when it comes to singing and adult alternative plus 70s and 90s.
Yeah, the 80s are crap.
Except
for metal.
You like a lot of the 80s.
I like
There's some.
I
like rock out of the
80s pop was
80s.
crap.
Yeah, 80s pop was crap.
No.
All the synthesizers.
Oh, I love some bad 80s music.
Even you know,
So
just because you love it
loved it.
doesn't change the fact that it's bad, is the point.
Yeah, but I mean, there was some good stuff, too.
There's a lot of iconic songs that came out of the 80s.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well,
I like the New Wave channel.
There's a lot of commercial songs that are now.
Yeah.
The 80s, almost every 80s song is now in a commercial somewhere.
Yeah.
Or at some point, then in a commercial.
David says, Fudge, your new wave is my guilty pleasure.
Yes. New Wave is fucking great. I love that channel. Well, that's where I listen to it, on that channel. I'm serious. Let's see. There's a song that keeps popping up.
You're lying.
I know, right?
No
All the
way.
time. Hold on a second. I'm trying to find what year it was put out.
Are you for real right now?
I had this on a 45.
I love this song! I love this song! No lies.
Yep. Taco.
I mean, it is good.
God, I'm gonna miss Gene Wilder. Damn it.
I had to with that.
Okay, this was an 80s song, I had to double check, but it keeps popping up in multiple movies, multiple things. It's Joy Division's Love Will Tear Us
Oh,
Apart.
wow.
It keeps popping up lately, it's driving me insane. They use it for everything.
And speaking of Gene Wilder, I was actually reading an article a while back on why 2016 is such a shit year for everyone dying, and it's because the baby boomers, are dying off, and there was a shit ton of them. Like Hollywood music and movies exploded with the baby boomer generation.
Yeah,
and that's all the ones we're losing right now, and it's going to continue for the next 5-10 years before they all are gone.
Okay,
There's
so
a lot of greats from that.
Chris wants to chime in.
Fuck you, Chris.
Since I'm not there, I'll chime in quickly. I'm an anime nerd because there's a hell of, and I guess he tried to type too many words and it killed him. So David put in a lot of fan service.
A lot of vaginas.
No, they wouldn't let you put way more words than that. Maybe he just stopped and started jacking off to the fan service.
Remember about that new ShamWow.
I thought it was the jizzle.
A lot more imagination used in writing animation, especially versus the TV shows. Not too long. I agree. I mean, and I am an anime nerd as well. There's a lot of invention that Japan does come up with. No, there's a lot that's reused.
Blue Submarine #6. First to integrate CGI with traditional animation.
But they do come up with some stuff where, we see the same old, and they're coming out with this off-the-wall setup, and they pull from, all over the world to create stuff. So I give a lot of credit.
And even when they create good stuff over there, we were talking about it earlier, we bring it over here and fuck it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why we watch
The only thing that has come from over there to over here that actually still stayed legit was Avatar, in my opinion.
Really?
Which is a good job on Nickelodeon. Avatar.
I'll say Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
I read Volume 1 and I watched the whole series.
But that's not an American
I love
written
Avatar
story.
too.
No, that's Japanese.
Yeah, but I'm saying Avatar wasn't actually American written, but sent out to Korea to animate and then brought back.
And I loved the cartoon, so I was really surprised when the movie was as good as it was.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming out that good, but it really did. I loved it.
I'll go with
Yes,
Silverhawks.
I loved it.
There's
Silverhawks was Japanese animation with American writing.
Now, there's certain aspects of that movie I loved, but then there's too much of it that pissed me off.
Ah, okay. I loved it. I loved all of it. The whole storyline, from the cartoon to the movie, I loved all of it.
What's that?
The Last Airbender.
I think it could have. I think
I just love the story so much. I was happy when there's more of it.
I'm surprised you haven't picked up the comics.
I didn't realize there was a comic.
Yes. There's an Airbender and Serenity. The trades are currently republishing.
But what did you hate about the movie?
The fact that they changed the names, or at least certain names were pronounced differently. Like Aang was
Yeah.
I'm like, well, well, depending on what,
Yeah.
certain cultures they do pronounce names differently. So I kind of passed that off.
Well, there's Kamehameha and Kamehameha.
So yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, I'll pass that off.
That's Samoan.
And then when there's the certain acting of certain characters, like for instance, Sokka, his acting was way too blah. And I've seen that actor in different stuff, and he played a hell of a lot better job.
Huh.
So I mean, to me, I blame that on the direction.
Maybe.
And it just piss poor editing.
Yeah.
To me, it was just edited so wrong.
Yeah.
There was just certain scenes that it just.
I guess I'm just watching it for Aang. I loved him.
Oh yeah.
I loved his story, who he is.
Yeah, and it's even better because the Legend of Korra, they give you more bits of what happened after they finally brought peace to everybody. What he continued to do for the world. And it's actually very awesome because you do get to see him fulfill his life. That it wasn't just him saving the world from the Fire Nation. Like, he went on to do better things, and his children are doing better things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hell to the right. But for our listeners, y'all are out of time.
Start from the left. No,
I'm gonna
from the right.
Yep.
I'm gonna catch it on this one. If you want the rest of this episode, you're about to miss 15 minutes of it. Be sure to tune in to the YouTube, youtube.com/TheNerderyOfficial, and a huge thank you to our sponsors, Captain Jack's Elixirs, 322 East Texas Avenue, Baytown, Texas. Phone number 281-837-3543. Website CaptainJacksElixirs.com.
No comment.
And to All Star Comics, I don't have their phone number here. They have yet to get me all their stuff, but they're working on it. Bear with them. They're over in Baytown, across the street from the mall in the Brew Wings parking lot.
On Garth.
On Garth, yes. They are 2 doors down from the Agonage. For all you people who are in Texas and don't know what an Agonage is, that's the recruiting station for the military.
281-839-7127.
There you go.
And Toxic City Comics, 15033 Delaney Road, Lamar, Texas. I don't have their phone number. I seem to have misplaced it at the moment. Their website is toxiccitycomics.com, of course. But thank you, everybody, for listening. Like I said, you're about to miss last 15 minutes of the show, and you missed the 15-minute break. Be sure to tune in to the YouTube. Don't forget, we have the website, nerdery.net, and you can contact us through the nerdery.net. Just look at that tab on the top that says Contact Us, and it'll have everybody's email on there.
You can email me.
Yes.
Don't call me.
FullMoonPatty@thenerdary.net. And we are accepting applications for writing contributors. Just click the tab at the top of the website, nerdery.net. It says Opportunities. There's an application on there. Just fill it out and mail it in. Anything else?
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, listeners.
You just waved at the listeners, you jackass.
I don't give a shit about it. It's a gesture.
It's okay. I smiled at them.
We still have watchers, though. Why are you still watching?
I've also learned that you need to cut slower so the guy gets a hard on.
I'm glad you.
But
learned
I've
that.
said in my life way more convincingly that my dick is getting hard than this actual biological man that has.
Did they
the
show his
penis.
dick? Was it getting
No.
Oh.
He just said it was getting hard, but I didn't believe him for a minute.
It was the cameraman, right?
Yeah.
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 Just mouth breathing in the back.
Yeah.
Chris says Lulu is a nerd for Scatman.
We've already done it this episode.
Too late.
Yeah, you missed it. Go back and rewatch
Can't do it
it.
anymore.
I don't believe y'all that The Imposter is on Netflix. And I'm like,
I want
Listen,
It
I
was.
swear I saw it like scanning through stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have to go check. I mean,
Or it's on Hulu.
well,
I've seen it
it could be
recently
on my
somewhere.
Comcast because I've been playing in my Comcast too. So
It's somewhere.
and Lotus is a nerd for being picked on.
yeah.
It comes to him naturally.
I want to. I think I saw it.
Eventually, we'll have a shirt with all his hashtags on it.
Could be a big
Special
shirt.
shirt
It's
for
a big
that.
trench coat.
There you go.
I don't think that's it.
That might
Nope.
be the remake.
No,
It's a
this one
different
had been.
I just saw the name, The Imposter.
Yeah,
That's
I
probably what
guess-
it was.
Mm-hmm.
No,
It's different. Okay.
no, different.
So I actually have to go look at it.
So it's not on the Netflix.
David, no reason to be
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
sir. He says, sorry, writing is not my forte, so no contributions.
Contributions that way.
Wow.
If you can write it, we can edit it.
Yeah.
To an extent.
To an extent. I mean,
To
if
an
you just
extent.
suck all around, then I can't help you.
We'll just send it back, return to sender.
With a bomb. I'm playing.
I have a new nerd thing.
Anthrax.
New nerd thing.
I just remembered
What?
Cybergoth.
Oh.
I love the Cybergoth.
That's awesome.
Like,
You just squealed.
That's a pretty high note.
I'm sorry.
She went
Like, that didn't
supersonic.
even come from the mouth. That was more the back of the head.
I wish I was over
About-
there so I could have seen the level spike.
It was really high.
I'm a nerd for pranks. I love pranking people. I actually was in the studio recording and I had a dog whistle. And if you ever have the chance, I highly recommend this. This is so fucking fun. Because it's not in the audible range, humans don't hear it. But the microphone does. And basically, I'm in the sound booth and there, it was a very poor studio. There was no big piece of glass. They can't see me. So I'm just in there with this dog whistle and they're in there at the production table and they're just watching all the meters spike out. There's all the needles, all the mirrors, everything's spiking out. Yeah.
Oh.
And I come out of there, and they're like, oh, it must be the mic. Let's swap out the mic. And swap the mic out, get back in there. All the meters spike out again. I had them down for probably about an hour and a half. And I asked them, like, after the first time, am I going to have to pay for this time? No. This is a technical problem. We'll figure it out.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
4 mics, 8 cables later, everything's working all of a sudden. So I was running out of wind. Can't sing. No, I didn't sing. I didn't. No. Nope.
He's not a nerd for that.
Nope. I stay my ass behind a guitar where it belongs. Thank you. Or a bass.
I'm a nerd for crappy indie flicks.
Oh,
Yes, you are.
God, yeah. yes. I meant to bring wrist cutters today and totally forgot.
I'm really psyched about that
After
one.
we
That
talked
sounds
about
awesome.
it, I watched it.
I've been
at
thinking
that
about
time,
it.
so it's been in
Like,
my
I really
bedroom.
need to see that movie.
Are you making butternut?
No.
I guess one other I should state is I'm a fan for
Bad Hats.
Bad Hats and Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes.
I'm absolutely a Star Wars nerd.
I'm a Boba Fett nerd.
B films.
Patty and Tanya, y'all want to go to Angel Split?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, Chris asked.
Oh wait, is that the thing he posted?
David can sing some Bohemian Rhapsody high notes.
Really?
I will say that.
I apparently can do dog whistle noises.
Got that on video.
Watch all the meters spike.
We did drunken karaoke and David was up there sharing a mic with
Oh.
me, which was ridiculous because he's like 2 feet taller than me. But
so much.
yeah, I
I'm a
thought I
solid
was going to
filmer.
do the high notes and then
Yes!
David jumps in
I
way
love
higher than I
silent
can do. So
I meant to go see if they still had that film over at that other place. I'll tell you later.
oh.
It's one you and Philip had talked about and stuff, and we found it used at a certain shop.
Which film?
This sounds dirty because you're like leaving things out and you're like, all I heard was we found it used at a certain shop.
Metropolis?
If
Yeah.
you're interested in the
I
used
have to go see
item.
if they still have it. So it'll be like $5. It won't be much at all. Okay.
So bad.
Next time I go to the porn shop, I will see if they have it for you.
Honest about things.
Metropolis.
The used thing.
There was
porn store.
There was a surprising amount of nudity in the
I don't
Silent
shop
Hill
at
era.
the used porn stores personally.
Oh my god, yes. Slightly used dildos.
The more used it is, the more money off you get. It's like the dented can at the grocery
This one's
store.
already
I have a new
China.
I have a new nerd obsession.
What?
Creepypasta.
Yeah.
That's your new one.
Yeah.
We
So
just
much so I have
each
4
other.
apps on my phone for it. Yeah. It's that good. I've read a lot of shitty ones.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of really good ones. And I've read a lot in between.
I'm still a nerd for books on tape.
Really?
No,
I really like if I'm driving
I
or
think
something,
I've listened to
listening
one
to
or two.
audio.
Audiobooks.
I think I've done 2 of them in my life.
I've done a few of them. Sometimes it's convenient. Like
Because my problem is I get lost in the speaking person and I quit listening.
Well, they gotta have the
Actually
right.
hearing
They gotta
it.
have the right voice.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
The most stone cold scene of any movie.
Oh god. Yeah.
The USS Indianapolis story from
Yes.
Jaws. It's
They're not watching us to watch us
No,
watch things.
no, but it's a very cold-hearted part of the
Maybe they're
movie.
watching us to watch us watch things.
Maybe they like watching.
Show me the way to go.
We can just watch
We
it.
watched watching earlier on that movie.
Oh god. It's a fucked up movie.
Alright, so we're gonna watch the movie.
Now let's get a mouth breather.
Patty never gonna have a dance. We'll just watch the movie now.
Other people are gonna be over and be like, "Are you okay with your husband mouth breathing into her face?" Oh, it's a long story.
It's their thing.
It's from a smut film they did together. It's okay.
Oh my god.
I couldn't imagine me in a smut film. That'd be like the worst acting ever. Like no foreplay. Take off your pants.
I'd say my dick was trying to be believable in these.
We could make a great movie.
What would you be doing? Mouth breathing in the corner?
Sure. No, I could hold the camera and say fucked up shit like that in mouth breathe. That's what I thought.
Take off your pants.
My dick is getting so hard right now.
And since he's watching that bitch grow a dick!
I'll be the bitch that grows the dick. Yes! You're like, wow,
Totally
their
down
dick's
for
getting
that.
hard too.
That's actually what my auto tech teacher told me to do when I couldn't find a job in the
Grow a
industry. He told me to put a dildo in my pants when I go in for an interview. So I was that I have a vagina.
Wow.
They'll let you work on cars if you have a penis in your pants. You just need a dildo.
I think that would be quite confusing. It might be. You're like, I thought she Tony. And then question their sexuality.
Did you just not hire me because of my penis? Do we need a lawsuit?
I like shoving things down the front of my pants. I think it's amazingly amusing.
Absolutely. So we're going off the deep end now.
I see that.
Might be time for everyone else to leave.
Just gonna let this one roll.
You know how we get once we get started.
Remember, you can send your emails directly to
Flipper Patty!
And Vanatanya.
At thenerdery.net.
Anything you want to talk about.
You can make requests. We may not do it, but you never know.
They might and just not show you.
Like, I totally
Might
did
just
that.
take
yesterday.
ideas.
We'll do it behind the camera where you can hear the breathing.
So much yes. My makeup gets fucked up every single week.
Like a creature on your page.
I'm a nerd for odd observations in life,
Trust him.
like breaking a sweat while taking a shit.
Oh god. I swear.
It makes me feel like I've accomplished
You're a nerd
something.
for that? Like,
You know, just odd little details in life, just weird little things.
I like facts.
Yeah, odd little
random
facts.
fucking
Yeah.
facts.
Fuck yeah, that's some good shit.
Yeah.
I can tell you how much a heart transplant would cost if you had to pay cash. Why do I know that? I have no fucking clue, but I can tell you.
I love that shit.
To somebody somewhere on the planet, that's a valuable piece of information.
And you know it.
I do.
You're full of that shit.
So, if y'all make y'all's film, I have the background music for you.
Okay.
But we're not allowed to have background
No, we
music.
can in our movie.
Oh, okay.
This is such a creepy.
Fuck yeah, Shatner!
Shatner doing Rocket Man in the background with the heavy breathing would be fucking perfect.
Especially for the nerdery to use
And
Shatner.
to groan a little bit.
If you want something entertaining, find out what Tanya's like craving as far as food and give it to her, and then just record that.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck you.
Patty food.
Oh god, yes.
Food gasms right there.
You know, she will moan while
moan.
eating. She will moan while eating.
Chris saw me eating sushi and I'm sitting in my chair and I'm going.
She does that
Like a
too.
little fucking kid. And I'll moan and I have to consciously not move and not moan.
I
to
think
not
it's funny
do
because
it.
you did
Oh,
this.
I'm sorry, dude.
He used to tell me and I would stop. Now he doesn't tell me till I'm done eating, and then he'll go, I could tell you really enjoyed that burger.
I'm gonna put this in there because I missed it. I'm sorry, David. He said tape the top and stuff the bottom.
Aw, that hurts though. I've done it before. I'm a hot man. I have pictures.
I've seen them.
I am
She looks like a Backstreet Boy.
sexy as a mofo. I can pull them bitches.
We gotta do that one day. We'll dress up as men and go out to the bar and try and pick up girls.
Wait, straight bars?
You're not done with it.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
at a
just
gay
regular
bar.
bars,
Oh,
like
okay.
dive bars.
Yeah. Nice. Wait till
We'll
about
see who can
Go
get
over here
more
and just do
numbers.
Or the hop.
when everybody's hammered.
Oh god, the hop.
Yeah.
And some middle-aged people, elderly,
That sounds awesome.
senior citizens and shit.
It's a good night.
David
I could
said,
pull some old
better than
ladies.
stuffing the top and taping the bottom.
I don't know, I like that too. I like it all.
Wow.
I do. I do not. I'll take any variation.
I saw that picture.
It's a sexy man right there.
It was like a tool.
Maybe I am a tool.
What's that look? That's a slap douchebag on my
No
face.
moves, totally taped down. Lewis is missing it. Lewis.
Whoa. What the?
I
You do
told you
look
he
like
looks like a Backstreet Boy.
Lewis is over there going, I'd poke him.
I'm agreeing to the yeah. You look
I'm
like
gonna
a.
show him scat, man.
This is why I don't talk. I'm just here in my corner. Got it. Oh, yeah.
Unless I make like beans or elotes, then you're here like fucking motherfucker.
How are there 5 people still watching us right now?
Hey man, them beans are funny.
We get
shit.
more interested as it goes on.
Because we're in the back bar, we're
Depends
just
on what they're
talking
watching
shit
for.
now at this point.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, hey, it works.
I would just expect them to start falling out.
David
at some
says
point.
Backstreet's back. All right.
Yeah.
I make a sexy man.
My
We
daughter
would do
said show the
Backstreet
camera.
karaoke.
Oh, okay. Here, hold on.
Alright,
Make sure it's that picture, not your other ones.
Ah, right.
I don't want to get us thrown on
We don't
YouTube.
need
Red
to
Hot.
Patty on YouTube.
I won't be able to see if you can see it, but
I'll let you know once it pops
Okay,
up.
there you go.
okay.
Go back further.
That
It seems excessively
Hold on.
close. They don't
see.
want
Hold on here. Hold on. Is that a better one?
Yeah, that's a better one.
There you go.
That's good.
I'm a
All
sexy
right.
man.
Those pictures will soon be on the nerdery.net.
That's a good one for Patty. That one's perfect.
What?
Everybody's
That ought to be
supposed to
your
have an
Frank
embarrassing
persona.
photo.
Oh, Frank? Yeah.
Do that as your Frank persona.
Oh, and we could say that we now have cosplay nerddom.
Yeah.
And now, here's the question. Did y'all enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally fun.
It was.
Especially when my ass popped out. I was alright with that though. No biggie.
Yeah,
No
it's
biggie.
fun.
It's not the
Even
first
with
time
fishnets shoved up my ass all night.
There you go.
I
Your
thought it was
asshole
great.
was like fishnet patterned.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It's probably pretty serious stuff.
What's that? Special tattooing.
I literally stuffed the bottom for that one.
Hey, Lewis, we all have pics of Patty and dressed as a dude. You're next.
Wait,
Are you saying he's gonna be dressed as a dude?
The gender bender.
I'd like to see that.
Go with that one. Good one, Prez. Good one.
My daughter says we should all cross-dress for one episode.
I think it sounds great.
I think it's fantastic.
Let's
I'll do it based on fan donations.
There you go.
Ooh.
So what number do you need to reach?
Yeah, so what's our calculation?
The board will meet on that, and we'll have that for you next
I have a
week.
wig.
Okay, so
You boys can borrow.
next show.
I have 2
we'll
wigs
talk-
actually.
I've got a couple.
We've got wigs.
I've got a couple male wigs
Okay.
for my cosplays.
So there we go.
So you can borrow those.
We got this.
I can just throw on a
That sounds
bandana
really
hat
fun,
like I did
actually.
before though too.
Oh, yours you can actually
I'm
just pull it
douchey.
back and it still
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah.
I have something else
You're
I
saying
need to
I
talk
look like a
about.
man?
No, but that haircut can be either or.
I have something else to talk about. This is real quick.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Third Coast Roller Derby. We had the pleasure of talking to them yesterday, and they were kind enough to give us 2 tickets to an upcoming game. That'll be October 1st. We're going to be giving these away for the Know the Show question. It's probably not going to be a Know the Show question next week. It's probably going to be an open knowledge question. But we'll be giving these away for that show, that episode. And I'm shaking away the limitations on who can win. If you've won the past month, you're still will be able to win these. And it's just right over here in Alvin. The tickets pre-sale $10, $12 at the door for adults. Kids 6 to 12 or $5. And there's an audience costume contest coming up on this too. Come dress in your best costume for a chance to win a prize. And they didn't tell me what that prize is going to be, but I know it's coming up. It's going to be the Pink Ladies versus the T-Birds.
Very nice.
That's an adorable picture.
Right.
Doors open at 6 p.m. and the game starts at 7. Family friendly, BYOB, and chairs. So bring your chair.
Family friendly and BYOB are both on the same flyer.
Right.
Oh, because it's a Halloween thing. That's why
Yes.
it's a costume contest.
Yes. But they're an awesome bunch of gals. I've met them. Steven, I know you've met a few of them.
Yeah, I've talked to a few of them.
Yeah, great, really friendly people. They don't look like it at first glance. They're very friendly, very nice, very sweet, and they're, like I said, they were kind enough to give us these tickets to give away on the show. I do know they're going to be posting it all over their sites and their Facebooks and everything. So make sure to tune in live next week to get these tickets. It will be an open knowledge question. It'll probably still be a nerdy question, but it won't be a know the show, because I know we're going to have a lot of new viewers coming from their site that don't know the show.
All right, so I have a comment from David. Don't worry, I will be working overtime for the next few weeks, so cross-dressing Halloween edition just may happen if it doesn't kill me first.
Ah, nice.
Well, David, you're going to have to win those tickets on the show.
No. He's talking about for the
For us.
the episode for the wrestling episode.
Yeah, next week we'll announce what that mark will be.
Which of course he has already paid for one cross dresser.
Yes, he has. Yeah, it's gonna happen. We need a new camera.
We're gonna put that hair down though, you know. We'll make it.
Oh yeah, he's gonna look into See, that was almost as hard as my
There were the levels right there.
Anyway, my final thought: it doesn't matter what you're a nerd about, but you are a nerd. Everybody's a nerd. It doesn't matter. Just we're all nerdy about different things, and it's okay. It's okay to be a nerd. I don't consider bad word or slander at all. It's everybody. That's my final thought. You guys?
My final thought is get out there and be nerdy. Enjoy what you love to do and
Own it.
don't care what anybody else says.
Don't be
about it.
embarrassed about your nerdism.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You'll find other people that love it too.
Yeah,
Yep.
there are people out there.
No matter how weird it is.
Yeah.
And there's
Honest.
some freaky stuff from my side of the view, but whatever you're into, enjoy it.
Yeah, from comic books to bronies to
BDSM.
there you go. Be a nerd.
Wow.
Be proud. Do it in public. That's my
BDSM?
final thoughts. Do it in public.
Lewis?
We've done that.
I got nothing.
Yeah, no problem.
Nope.
He's over it.
Potty poopa. Thank you once again to all our sponsors, all our watchers, listeners. Thank you guys y'all are the reason we do this. And y'all are what makes this fun. Thank you to everybody, and be sure to tune in next week. I'm JD.
Patty. Tanya.
Steven.
And Lewis.
Thank you guys.
soul now, and they can feel me somehow. Oh, every night you bring me joy and happiness. Our connection, yes, we two